Hi, Leo Sun and Rising. It's Raina here. Here are three things I want you to know for the rest of 2025. This is just for fun, kind of looking ahead beyond just I'm going to be doing the monthly reading for May within a few days. But I just thought, like some of these other things, we have some other important things coming up. This won't cover every important thing, but it's just like kind of fun to look ahead. And number one, and this is not by any means all of the highlights, but just three of them. Number one, Uranus goes into Gemini on July 7th. And for you, this is going to be your 11th house of gains, as well as hopes and wishes and friendships. Leo, you've had Uranus in your 10th house, being a fixed sign and having this erratic planet in your career sector may have been very nerve-wracking. By the way, this is a general reading, so it's possible that on July 7th, you're still going to have Uranus in your 10th house for a while, because it all depends on your personal chart, okay? So this is just a general reading. But anyway, if it's not happening now, it's something to look forward to. And so when Uranus is in the 10th house, a person can experience a lot of ups and downs when it comes to their career. They may be in a career that's kind of dying out, or it's really undergoing a lot of changes. And an example would be if you work in the print media, where it's so funny because it's amazing. I used to buy the newspaper religiously, and I haven't, and even when I moved into the current place where I'm living, where I've already been here for like almost 16 years, I was buying the newspaper even then all the time. I haven't bought a newspaper in years. And I happened to see one when I was at a cafe. It was just sitting there. I think it was like $2, and there's hardly any pages left. And it's amazing that I had that habit. I think back then it was like 50 cents or $1. So it wasn't as big an investment. But yeah, print journalism has been undergoing major changes, or even broadcast journalism. And there are other fields as well where, be it technology or just the demand, it's just different. But another thing that, well, let me just say, forget about that. I just want to say when Uranus goes into your 11th house, because it rules the 11th house, it's operating in its own domain, but this is the house of your gains. So this gains meaning your profits on your business, or your salary that you get through the work that you do, your profession. That can become a little bit more erratic, and there might be different reasons for it. It might not just be because it's touch and go. It could be that you're doing, like if you work for yourself, you don't have a steady paycheck because you don't know when you're going to get paid. It's not the same as when you're working a job and you get paid once a week or once every 2 weeks. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to be earning a lot of money. But this is the house of friendships. So you could have some very unusual people coming into your life that you make friends with. Starseeds much? People that are like, maybe it's a more bohemian type of a crowd where people are not living the 9 to 5 type of lifestyle. They're kind of outside of the norm. It can also be a time when you're communicating to people in a mass sort of what you're communicating to the masses. Um, I do remember, even though I can't find evidence of it, I do remember the 11th house being connected to the internet at one time. And it makes sense because Uranus is technology and the 11th house is the collective. So it makes sense about connecting with the collective through technology. But for some, for a good reason, the third house was named as social media because it's a house of communication. But still, the 11th house can also be about that. This number 2, Pisces lunar eclipse on September 7th. So this is in your 8th house, Leo, this lunar eclipse. This is super important because this is the house of Scorpio in astrology. This is the house of the shadow self. The lunar eclipse can help bring things out, but it's also about a massive release. And you may have something that you can think of right now that you would really love to release if you could. Maybe it's like really painful emotions, and that's really what the shadow self can specialize in. There is the potential for great healing with this. This can also be like so this can be a release. This can be a letting go or a surrender to something that you have been resisting, that you are afraid of at a deep level of maybe it getting out to other people, whatever. But the shadow self, one of the big emotions for the shadow self is shame. So people have to learn that shame is not their friend. And, if you're ashamed, if you feel shame, it's likely that someone else projected their own shame onto you and you took it to be yours when it really isn't. So just keep that in mind. There could be a chance for great purging at this time. Number 3, Virgo solar eclipse, September 21st. Virgo is a sign ahead of you, Leo. This is your second house of earned income. So a solar eclipse here, that's phenomenal because that can plant new seeds for new income streams and new abundance coming your way. You may get new opportunities to make money. And it doesn't have to be just on September 21st. It can be for the next 6 months that this is in play. So this can certainly be positive for your finances. Uranus in the 11th house could too, in its own way, if you just kind of trust the universe. All right, Leo, that's what I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a private reading, you can click on the link below. I have package deals, which, are discounted. I have standalone readings, like natal chart interpretation, transits for the next 12 months, love readings, career readings. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for listening. Bye.